You didn't catch that. I clicked the wrong one.
I did.
We're back.
I thought
We're
that's what
back.
we were doing.
Nah, yeah, well, yeah,
I thought that's
I
what we
guess
were doing.
I guess we could. We could do that. We could
Okay,
mess around.
so big news right away. Start off right. Big news. Craig Counsell. Craig Counsell, highest paid MLB manager ever. 5 years, 40 million to the Cubs.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay, now a couple of things. I really enjoyed what Craig Counsell did. Him and that general manager, they created a really nice squad. By the way, Mark Hanna has been traded to the Detroit Tigers already this offseason. So there's
Correct.
things going on in baseball. Stephen Vaught, the name of the Cleveland Guardians, and we'll talk into that here soon, actually. Now, I really appreciate what Craig did for Milwaukee. And this isn't like, oh, now that he's gone, because you can go back to some of our earlier episodes and you hear me telling you I've got a big issue with how he sets up his lineup and how he does not push his players into position to better them out. In fact, I think a lot of players ended up sitting for extended periods of time, including Rowdy Tellez. I think Rowdy Tellez got the short end of the stick, regardless. 5 years, 40 million.
Okay.
What did he do to get 5 years, 40 million, bro?
He was the only big named coach that was out there, as far as I know. I mean, he drew a lot of attention from like the Mets, and is
He
that
drew a
because
lot
of
of
the
attention. He went on.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew he was gone from Milwaukee the moment he took a third interview. Like he went shopping, bro.
Did he use the Mets to drive his price up? They used the GM to drive the price up. I believe he did.
He's smart. Listen, the St. Louis Cardinals are still tough. They're gonna be tough. Cincinnati is gonna be good.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Chicago,
92 win team.
Yeah, but Chicago, if they're going all in on Counsell, that means they're probably going all in on free agency and trades.
Well, I mean, they've had two players drop right out of their contracts to leave Chicago. Yep. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't bode well, right? You know, like when AJ Hinch went to Detroit, you didn't have a mass exodus.
Well, I don't know if that's just because they're chasing more money,
or if he wanted too much money, or if they just went on the same page. It'll be interesting to see. But anywho, I mean, that's the baseball news. I still don't know how I'm going to take it. I'm excited to see who we're going to pick up. It's going to be fun. I will keep an eye on it and see. Too, though, because we lost our GM also.
Yeah, he went to the Mets.
He went to the Mets. Right.
But I guess the guy that was pulling the strings and getting all those free agencies like Canna and the guy from Pittsburgh or whatever.
Yeah.
He is the guy that pulled all the strings for all those guys. So he's actually the mastermind. Yes, he's the mastermind behind all those free agency signings. So the guy that's kind of like gets the steals. I think he'll do fine.
I think he will too. And my point with bringing that up is probably wants his own coach.
Well, here, Charles, where off the top of your head do you think Arizona was payroll wise? They had to have been behind the Brewers, right? As far as market size. Yeah. So why it can be done? It can be done. They were a prime example of it.
Listen, I love the Brewers looking forward. Our farm system is still amazing. We didn't even get to see Jackson Churros yet.
Churros, yeah.
I mean, so we should pull on a guest and do a wrap-up MLB show sooner rather than later. We'll try and find somebody out there who loves baseball as much as we do.
I love to find somebody that like is big into fantasy baseball because those are usually your stat guys, the guys that can give you a lot more insight on baseball. Baseball fantasy owners are a different animal.
But I expect this podcast to have a fantasy everything, right? So obviously we did football. I would love.
Lord, baseball is one of the. Baseball's baseball. We're gonna definitely do a Final Four, a March Madness one.
We'll do a March Madness. Yeah, we'll do a March Madness bracket. That'll be fun. I want to do fantasy baseball. So
yes, but we have to get this in place around like starting February and getting some feelers out there, and then we can do it. Baseball is a very dedicated one. You have to set your lines up.
You set your lineup for the week, and you check. Throughout, you check once in the morning and once in the evening for injuries, and you keep your eye on that fucking waiver wire for people who are being brought up. I love it, dude. I fucking love it. But you got to be dedicated. We might have to put a 30 or 40 burger on this to make sure people are dedicated.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
So moving on. Let's get to the NFL. Lots happening in the NFL. We get through another crazy week. Green Bay scores 20 points. They don't quite make it to 21, but the defense comes in tough yet again. Corey Valentine did some really wonderful things in lieu of Douglas being sent away. Killed the locker room, from my understanding. Killed the locker room. And I'm still going to say, I said it last week, I really enjoyed what I saw from Green Bay. I mean, Jordan Love had a game in which he normally has. He just didn't throw the interception this time. He tried a couple times.
He was average. He did what he needed to do. He didn't do anything too crazy. He didn't try to stretch it out. But did you see that there's some players that came out on X and had said, take the training wheels off Love? Like if players are saying that, something's got to be like, something's got to be to that. Something has to stick to that.
Yeah.
I believe there is something to it.
Well, I don't agree or disagree with that statement as long as Aaron Jones is getting 15 plus carries. I mean, something he did wonderful this game was he started to go through his progressions more like he did against the Bears and then just stopped doing, or he did in the fourth quarter against the Saints. I mean, when he looks at the field like he's supposed to, or like a good quarterback is supposed to, right? Hey, my number one guy isn't there. Two guy, all right, throw it to the flat, live another day.
Yeah.
That's when we start winning better. That's when we start playing better and we start winning better games.
Right. But I hope we don't find out that we just realized that we just beat a really bad football team and that's the only reason.
But the Rams aren't a bad football team.
Are they a good football? Are they not a bad football team?
A couple weeks ago, everyone was sucking the knob of Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is still on that team. They have a good defense. They have a good defense.
Do they have a good defense?
Yes, they do. That defense shows up. Yeah, Matt Stafford wasn't playing, but okay, listen. The Rams are much better than the Bears in almost every sense. And the Rams are in a situation, depending on the injury to Matt Stafford, the Rams are in a playoff mode. The Rams could very easily make the playoffs. Let's look at the Rams real quick. Where'd they go?
17th. 17th in defensive yards per game.
I mean, we're cutting cakes now. They're better and worse than 50% of the league.
You know, the Bears are right behind the Packers in defense. NFL ranked defense. Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, Green Bay's defense is playing, but all we're really doing is ruining our draft pick.
Realistically, I just meant next week they're going to run up against a real good defense. They were middle of the road. Rams are middle of the road defense. And they did not have a quarterback. That guy's not a quarterback.
That's why they managed 3 points.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying, even with a quarterback, I don't think they come in and score 20 points on Green Bay's defense.
I don't know. Stafford's much better at getting the ball to Cooper Kupp and to Nakua. I just feel like that was the perfect storm for Green Bay to get back on track. Nothing against him. I just don't believe that. I believe we saw kind of a mirage, and I hope that's not what happens. You know, what are we going to see from the Steelers when they play a good defense? You know,
the Lions and the Falcons are the only teams to score 20 plus points against Green Bay's defense this season. You've got the Seahawks, the Bears, the Saints, the Raiders, the Broncos. The Vikings put up 24, but
yeah,
I that's 7 points is to Jordan Love. So arguably they didn't give up 20 points in that game either. You see what I'm saying? If we go back in and break a little bit, Jordan Love's got 2 pick sixes already. The schedule, though, arguably, bro, the only shitty teams we played are the Broncos and the Packers. Or we are.
Did you play yourself?
We were really shitty.
Beat yourself.
But the Broncos,
they did beat themselves a couple times this year.
But I mean, the Broncos and the Bears. Green Bay's strength of schedule has been about middle of the pack or better. It's not something to be upset about. The defense has been playing good, dude. And trust me, I'm a fire Joe Barry guy. It's not about Joe Barry. We lost the Vikings game on defense and offense and shit like that.
Well, they lost that Lions game too.
Yeah,
that was a bad game.
Got smashed on that. Right. But a lot of this isn't on the defense. You got to understand, we got to understand also as fans, we've got a learning offense. And that offense is putting our defense in some really shitty positions. And those games, I promise you, are the ones where teams scored over 20 points.
I think part of the problem people don't realize either is, I think, didn't Green Bay play like the first 6 games of the season with like a half-ass offensive line? Did they only have one or two starters out there?
And we've been broken. I mean,
they got 2 of them back this past week, and it was noticeable, the protection for Love. Oh my goodness, it was noticeable.
Absolutely. I mean, we got a tough schedule upcoming, which makes the beginning of our schedule look like poo-poo. I'm not stoked about playing the Lions on Thursday twice this year. I don't like that.
Lions do that. I feel like they always say these are computer generated, but I want to call bullshit on it, because
it's just crazy that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, dude, they ain't no fucking voodoo.
No,
the Lions have lost way too many Thanksgiving games, and now all of a sudden, magically, we're playing them on Thanksgiving. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, here's the only good thing for the Packers. The Lions usually don't play the greatest on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
they play okay, but they don't play the best. Usually they get their asses.
Another Thanksgiving home game for Detroit as well.
Yeah, it's almost like
Jack Harlow is the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving Day halftime performer this year.
I was going to say they probably wouldn't have chose him, but
well, I think they chose BB Rexa last year.
I think she got booed. Them.
Dude, she started singing and got booed the entire time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man, forgot about that.
So they had to do something different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jack Harlow is Detroit's a rap city, so he'll be just fine.
Yeah,
he just got booed
the whole damn time. Oh my god! All right, the Packers are who the Packers are. That's exactly it. I think that says way more about the Rams defense than it really does anything else. I saw a lot of cool things from Green Bay, but after what happened with the Bears and the Saints, I want to see what happens with the Steelers. Like you were bringing up, I agree wholeheartedly. The Rams defense is not the Steelers.
I think what I really was getting at, I wasn't trying to like narc on them. I was just like, are we going to see if this was a fluke or not? I guess that's really what I meant.
With a young team and a new quarterback, we've got to take what we get when we get it. We can't look at that win against the Rams and go, yeah, but if it was somebody else, we would have got our ass kicked.
Right. Well, you can never look at it like that. Yeah, it's negative thinking, But.
So moving forward, we've got the Steelers. We'll talk about that a little bit as we go into our pick'ems. It's a couple really nice games coming up. Something I would love to mention is well done, Miami, continuing to lose to big good teams, man, and losing to themselves.
Funny because you called this like 4 fucking weeks ago. Like you called it. You're like, they're just not a good team when they play good teams. Any team that has a relevant defense, like you said, shuts them down.
I mean, in Kansas City's defense, we dog on Taylor Swift's offense often. We dog on them hard. Her and Jackson Mahomes have a really nice connection going on. I'm sorry. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce have a really nice connection going on.
And Jackson Mahomes as well in the background. Jeez, I don't even get that. I don't get it. Whatever, do your thing. Do your boo thing.
I feel bad for calling Colorado the Kardashians of football. Here, Kansas City wakes up and goes, hold my fucking
what are those?
Hold my
Smirnoff Ices?
Hold my Coors Light. I got it. Yeah. What's in Kansas City? Hold my freaking Heineken, or I don't know, whatever Kansas City would be holding.
Hold my
A
Smirnoff.
Bush. My Smirnoff. Hold my
You got
Smirnoff.
any of them triple berry Smirnoff Ices?
Yeah.
Is that's got to be a drink, right?
No, I agree with you. We overlook their defense a lot because of the offense being as good as it is.
As good as it was, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
dude,
Kansas City's got a good defense.
The numbers I was hearing, like Kansas City hasn't had a defense like this since the early 90s, bro. Patrick Mahomes was 3 years old the last time Kansas City's defense was doing anything like this.
Does it almost feel like
I think?
Yeah. Does it almost feel like the defense is good enough that the offense does just enough to win? Because there's a lot of ugly wins for Kansas City, like offensively.
So we can't hype the Miami win, which is exactly
I'm not, because they almost blew it. They almost blew it.
Yeah. Miami lost that game. Kansas City didn't win. Kansas City put up 21 points and then ended up by the end of the game. They got beat on total net yards. They got beat on passing yards. They got beat on rushing yards. They got beat on yards after scrimmage. By the end
the turnovers killed them. They couldn't come back.
Miami sucks when they're playing any good team because they've got this like small person complex when it comes to playing a big team. Instead of just going out there and doing them, they feel like they got to go out there and be more than themselves to win. And they're going to lose every fucking game this year playing that way.
Yeah.
And are they dangerous enough to be something special? Absolutely. The Jets are spoiling. The Patriots can't even beat the fucking Commanders.
Right. Their best win is against Buffalo. And like you said before, and like you said, is Buffalo even going to make the playoffs?
Buffalo's not a good win.
Yeah.
Buffalo's not a good win because Buffalo
is really
either beats your ass or loses themselves. You just can't trust Buffalo. Buffalo is so frustrating. You can't trust them because they're good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
But
I agree with you.
I don't know. I don't want to. You've mentioned it before, and I have to agree with you.
You said something's just wrong with the coach. Something's wrong with Allen. I don't know what's going on. Like you said, you can mark it down with a bunch of different things. What's wrong with that football team?
Buffalo and Miami. I mean,
feel bad for Rasul Douglas. I mean, man,
put a blindfold on and throw a dart at the map and find out where you're going because it's the same direction that Buffalo and Miami go when they play a good team.
Yeah, hope Micah Hyde, prayers with you. Hopefully a safe recovery there and a fast recovery. He got hurt again. Another ex-Packer that we all loved that we wish they never would have got rid of.
Same scenario with
that
Rasul,
one hurt.
Man.
That one hurt a lot more than Rasul Douglas did because that was in the middle of them actually. Yeah, they just didn't want to pay him. That's the kicker.
It does, and I mean, ugly. Anyways, where were we going with that?
We were just rolling through talking about Kansas City and the Swifties.
So, so ultimately, where I wanted to go with that too, though, is that Kansas City's defense has been doing wonderful things, but they don't do those things against Joe Burrow, and they got lucky as shit that they beat Cincinnati this year. But they beat Cincinnati this year with Joe Burrow hurt.
You know what? You
was super significant.
Yeah. You know what you can see if you watch Burrow play now? He's
$200 million.
He's mobile. He's mobile, and he's like Mahomes-esque. When he gets out of the pocket, he makes shit happen.
He's taller. He's taller and more accurate than Mahomes. Mahomes did some really fancy shit. Don't get me wrong, but here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, right? It's like. Ooh, no, it's a lighter. I didn't actually make fire. It's a lighter, right? And you can do these magical things when you've got all this deception. And the fucking guy's wide open because in most cases before Patrick Mahomes, when the quarterback put his head down to run, he ran. But Patrick Mahomes was smart enough to notice that the line, pop his head up, and you can do anything in the world when the guy is that wide open. And we are talking about athletes making millions of dollars. So a lot of them can do special things with their hands that most of us, not us, we were athletes, but most normal fucking people can't do.
Oh, the rope-a-dope? Yep. Look over here. Yes.
Joe Burrow goes, hey man, ain't no fucking rope. Dime.
Charles is like that song. I can ride my bike with no handlebar. Or was it?
No,
What the hell is that
I can
song?
ride my bike with no handlebars. No
No
handlebars.
handlebars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
here's the thing, though, with Joe Burrow. I mean, I think it's going to come down to Cincinnati and Baltimore. But I think ultimately it'll come down to who wins that division and gets home field advantage.
Yeah, I believe home field is very important in this game. A cold Arrowhead against any team in the AFC it's almost not even fair.
Well, I mean,
Just,
and
you know.
you're talking, I mean, but in this scenario, I'm thinking it's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals or the Baltimore Ravens. I don't even have Kansas City in this mix anymore. Kansas City's offense, I don't trust it. For one, the wide receivers, when they finally do get open, they drop the passes. And if Patrick Mahomes manages to decide to throw to one of them instead of a covered Travis fucking Kelsey,
Well, yeah, but
they don't catch it anyways.
But isn't Kansas City the favorite to win the AFC, like to win home field advantage, to be the number 1 seed? Because I think they have an easier schedule the rest of the way.
I also remember
do they play each other? Do they play each other?
Who?
Kansas City and Baltimore.
Cincinnati or
no,
Kansas
Baltimore.
City? I don't think so. Well, man, fuck the Ravens, eh? Next week they have the Browns, and then the very next week,
it doesn't get easier.
Thursday they play Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're gonna drop one. They're gonna drop one of those.
Both of them are both of those games are at home. Actually,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna pick the Ravens right now to win them both.
To win them both?
They're gonna win them both. They're gonna win them both.
Know.
The Browns don't have enough offense. I don't trust Deshaun Watson.
Is Deshaun back?
Yeah, he's back.
Deshaun?
They managed 27 points on the Cardinals. 0. The defense is good. The defense is really, really good. But man, the Baltimore Ravens offense is really, really good.
Did you want to bring up your news?
What's that?
That Kyler's starting?
Oh yeah. Kyler Murray starting? Absolutely. Barring any setbacks, Kyler Murray will be starting. Absolutely.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler. Which, by the way, that dude got a lot of shit. And I'm upset that I don't have the stats up, but his rookie year was magical.
It wasn't bad.
He holds thanks to CJ Stroud doing what CJ Stroud does, has brought us back to revisiting Kyler Murray's fucking magical rookie year. But he went like 211 pass attempts before his first interception here, peeps. Like he, when played correctly, he did really, really well.
I think he needs to go to a different team. I think he needs a new set of players, a new set of coaches, a new offense, a new playbook. I don't know.
He's got that. He's got that now. He got hurt, and then his old coach was fired, and now he's with his new coach. He hasn't played yet with this.
But do they want? But that's the thing. Do they want him?
Yes. He loves, dude. Arizona's head coach is Kyler Murray's biggest fucking cheerleader, bro. Biggest.
Does Marquise Brown still play for Arizona?
Yeah. Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, you forget about him because they had Dobbs. You know,
fantasy leagues.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Big return from Chargers about to go up 7-0 on the Jets with a big punt return. Touchdown. No flags. Bam. Eat shit, Pat.
I don't know about that. I don't have any faith in their offense.
Darius Davis, 87-yard punt return for touchdown. Here's the thing. Zach Wilson has the most fourth quarter comebacks this season.
Hey, Charles, I'm going to lose this week. To
Brad.
To Brad this week. If Breece Hall doesn't have fucking 20-some points. I said, hey, this is your week, because guess what? Gabe Davis had 0 catches for Buffalo. He got thrown to like 6 times. He didn't catch the ball once.
Oh my God.
Seriously,
George
dude.
Pickens, 2 catches, -1 yard.
Unbelievable.
6 attempts. He got to get his toes down on the one, but Pickett missed him like 5 times, dude. He would have had fucking 60, 70 yards easy. Fuck, one may have even broke for a touchdown, 80, 90 yarder. That's why I made the Facebook post. Kenny Pickett makes me want to punch a baby goat in the face.
Now, Kenny Pickett. Well, Kenny Pickett makes people want to do a lot of things: drink, fight. I mean,
here are the commentators. Everybody's giving Matt Canada such a hard time, but they got to remember Kenny Pickett's throwing the ball.
Dude, it's that offense. It's that offense. God. I don't care. It's Matt Canada. Like we've said this so many times. It's Matt Canada's offense.
Matt Canada. But you know what? You know what else would make it Matt Canada too? If the people on the field don't have faith in you.
Well, that's true
that
too.
You're putting
that has a lot to do with it.
In a position to win, right? Like,
well, right. I don't necessarily mean that when I say that it's Matt Canada, I don't necessarily mean that it's just
I'm agreeing with you.
We've seen it. Yes.
Yeah, I know. The players also think that their offensive coordinator is the problem.
Yeah, you got to buy into that offense, and they haven't. They haven't.
Yeah, of course they haven't. How are you paying Pickens so much money and you're only targeting him 6 to 7 times a game? Bro, on average, old boy's getting targeted less than 7 times a game. He is your most explosive offensive player. Literally has won 2 fucking games for you by just you throwing him the ball and him catching it. I don't understand.
Isn't he still on his rookie deal? I thought Deontay Johnson was their most the most expensive player that they had.
No, explosive.
Well, I thought Pickens was still on a rookie deal. Isn't he only making rookie money?
Hell, I don't know.
I thought he was just drafted last year or whatever. Anyway, yeah.
When was George Pickens drafted? Yeah, 2022, 52nd overall. Maybe he isn't getting paid too much money.
He's not getting paid too much money.
I tweeted out to him
he's not getting paid too much money, but he definitely.
Now I feel bad. Now I feel. I'm gonna have to go back and redo that tweet.
Charles,
I'm gonna go on.
You second round sucker.
I was nice about it, but I woke up, man. I was fuming.
No, he is. He is.
2 catches, -1 yards.
There was a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype.
You got to get your toes down. But hold on, though. He is worth the hype. He is definitely worth the hype, dude. He's one of very few wide receivers in a fantasy world that project 14 plus points a week. I mean, you've only got maybe 20 of those fucking wide receivers out there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's only a handful. Most of them are around like 8 to 10. Yeah.
He's just got a fucking corn cob throwing him the ball. The fucking thing just pops whenever he wants.
Do you think that Pittsburgh is going to draft a new QB? Are they?
If one falls in their lap, I don't know.
I think if it falls late second or if it falls in the third, I think they're going to grab somebody like maybe a guy from, I don't know, maybe you're talking the guy from, where the hell is he from? BYU again or something like that. You know, some school like
maybe
Big 12
Big Phoenix Energy comes out and drops into the second round.
He isn't going to drop into the second round. Hell, I mean, I'm thinking he's the second. He's right behind JJ for the Heisman.
Yeah.
He's not going to drop that much. He's just going to continue to play crappy teams and have good stats.
Aaron Rodgers made Nathaniel Hackett look really, really good. Right?
Yeah, for a long time, for years.
Sean Payton made Drew Brees look really, really good, right?
I would say that's true, but it became
not
true. Yeah.
But Drew Brees became who he was because of Sean Payton.
Oh, because of his tutelage, sure.
Tom Brady,
talk about that.
Tom Brady became who he is due to the system that was the Patriots, correct?
Sure, the system that he had in place, yes.
Right. So what's going on with the Steelers is 2 huge issues. They got a shit-fuck quarterback with a dumbass OC.
Yeah,
and those 2 aren't going to combine.
It's
because
not the head coach's problem.
No,
it's not his problem.
No, hell no. The fact that they're doing what they're doing should fall well on the head coach's shoulders as, hell yeah, look what I'm able to do with what I
think if they struggle against Green Bay next week and they go to their 5-3, if they drop to 5-4, say they drop that game to Green Bay, I can see them putting him on the hot, not just a hot seat. I got a torch to your ass cheeks hot seat where you better jump when I say jump, because pew, 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 bullets are flying at your feet all day, all long.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett is not good enough to make up for the mistakes that are Matt Canada. And Matt Canada isn't good enough to create things that is, that's going to pick up the shit. I mean, look at Nathaniel Hackett and the Jets. Even right now, they were shit until Aaron Rodgers got back into that room. And now that Aaron Rodgers has say in everything, and he has a hell of a lot of say in what's being called offensively. If you don't think Aaron Rodgers don't have say in what's being called offensively for the Jets, you're fucking crazy.
Oh, why do you think he's on the sidelines? Come on, let's not be stupid.
For the first 4 weeks, the Jets could not shit in a pool. And now all of a sudden, they're like, yo, I can drop this shit from a 30-story building.
What are you talking about? Now Rodgers is out there on the sidelines, pool boying it up, picking those tooties right out of the freaking pool farm. And he's like, here, on top of that, here's a nice play. Call this play right here, because I got faith in Zach Wilson to throw a touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I agree with you that he's on the sidelines whispering in the ear, whether it just be whispers or him saying, fucking call this play right now because this is going to work.
Yeah. And it's funny, too. The wife goes, wouldn't it be great if just Aaron Rodgers came back and coached Green Bay? It's like 6-7 years from now.
I mean, even if he came back and he was what do you call him? Like an offensive coordinator or something, or maybe a quarterback coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell, fuck it. Put him right in the head coach.
He would come back. They would invite him back with open arms for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Even with him faking an injury, so we get a screwed up draft pick.
Right. Yeah. What is that? That draft pick is heading to like 15th or something right now in the second round. So it's like the 43rd, 44th pick or something.
Oh. And that ball came out. Well done, Garrett Wilson. All right, so let's move on to some of these games that occurred. Ravens at Seahawks. Lamar Jackson moves to 17-1 versus the NFC. 17-1 versus the NFC.
They don't. The more that you say this, yards? 300. They had 300 total. 300 total for the team.
Finally, somebody other than Lamar ran the ball.
He didn't have to do much that game. He just kind of threw it. He only had 180 yards passing. Here's the thing with Lamar Jackson. He has a lot of faith in that defense and that his offensive line. He doesn't need to be flashy, which is scary, very scary for the rest of the league. And there's a warning out there.
Odell's coming back.
Odell had five catches, and I think he had a touchdown.
He had a tutty. Yeah. See, the thing is that Odell Beckham did not need to be anything until about week 11.
Yeah, he didn't need to be anything out there.
He didn't need to be anything at all until about week 11.
Very self-sustaining, yeah.
Absolutely. I have more faith right now in the Baltimore Ravens and that defense and that offensive line than I do any other team in the AFC. And I love the NFL. Every week we've got something different. You go back and listen to a couple of our older episodes, and I'm hot on Miami. I still wouldn't close the door on Miami, but unless they figure out,
I'm not going to close the door on them as far as like making the playoffs, but
because they still have a chance to win their division, which means they're going to be playing in Miami.
Right. So it's just that door is closing very, very fast on them. I don't
know who gets past the Ravens right now.
Right now it is a very easy answer who the best team in the AFC, if not the NFL, is right now. Absolutely. I mean, that's Baltimore.
Absolutely. Because I mean, with the 49ers, I mean, they did bolster their lineup coming off of a bye week. They picked up Chase Claypool.
Did they bolster their lineup, or did they just fuck themselves?
I think they did well. I mean, this is going to open up. Now you've got Fred Warner, Bosa, and Claypool. You can't double team them all. So you're getting one of those three people every play, probably if disguised correctly, 2 of those 3 are going to be on single coverage. If the average time to throw against the 49ers defense, let's say it's like 2.9 seconds right now, because I'm guessing you're not having much more than that.
All 3 games that they lost, they had some crazy stat about how fast the ball got out, and they're like, it doesn't matter if they blitz if you get the ball out that fast.
If you get the ball out that fast, absolutely.
Well, 3 games in a row, teams figured it out. So I mean, something has to be to that.
And that's,
you know,
but I mean, that's why they did what they did, trade for the defense and yada yada yada. So we'll see. I'm still high on the 49ers. I'm just not sitting on that pedestal with them anymore.
Well, I guess what we talked about this. You talked about we talked about the Seahawks, and it's like we got to see the real Seahawks against Lamar. We got to see that, yeah, they can play well versus mediocre teams and average teams.
I agree.
But when it comes to the big boys, yeah, that defense can't show up. Can't show up for 4 quarters anyway.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right, I guess we're 38, 40 minutes in. We should probably get to these picks, eh?
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's go over last week's picks real quick. We went 7-2 on last week's picks.
Yeah,
Climbing
we rolled
back up that chart. We are now well above 500 as a team. We are 23-19. Our head-to-head pick'ems. This was the fun one. I had the NFC, you had the AFC. So this week it's obviously switching. Last week my picks were Cowboys, Eagles, and Dolphins, Chiefs. I chose the Eagles and the Chiefs. Both of them won. And I only chose the Chiefs because I didn't trust Miami. And I got a shout out to the Frankfurt crowd there. Well done. Well,
dude, I heard a little bit there about they were interviewing McDaniels, and they had some really good questions. The media had really good questions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do they do really, really well. In fact, I would love to reach out to some overseas fans who enjoyed the NFL for the first time. I would love to get their talk on how they felt the environment was matched up to one of their football games. That should be really fun to do. But then you had the Vikings Falcons and the Bills Bengals, and you got the Bengals correct and the Falcons wrong. But man, I got to tell you, that's probably one of those games where you don't mind being wrong too much, because Joshua Dobbs, that dude is a dog.
Yeah, did you see that they're moving forward? They're trying to figure out how to utilize him in a more, I guess, safe manner, so that he's not running for 70 yards a game and taking off. But I mean, the guy can run. I mean, he's athletic.
He had only been there for about 5 days.
Yeah, he didn't have much time.
He didn't have much time, so it was probably just all eyes. And I mean, I'm super frustrated with the Falcons, how they did not take that into consideration.
Charles, another player tears his Achilles as well. 2 players this past week tore their Achilles. Cam Akers tore his, and Daniel Jones is now out.
Jones.
2 more players
that could have possibly happened to New York. Honestly,
I heard
they're going to start scoring points now.
Is that the worst thing? Because they paid him a lot of money.
Wow, yeah, that's their own fucking fault. I'm saying they scored more points without him.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that that's not really good for them, because he's on payroll for the next 4 years.
Oh yeah, fucking New York. That's their dumbass problem. As a fan, but you get ready. You're going to be happy. Yeah. You ain't paying that money. Who cares? Yeah, it's already expensive as fuck to go to New York, anyways. You got 2 teams in the same stadium, and the people are paying for that stadium.
I never did understand that. I never did understand why they have the same stadium.
How the hell is the same stadium for 2 teams? How are those tickets so priced out? You would think that because there are 2 teams that go to the one stadium, in fact, it should be the cheapest stadium to go to. That's
if you guys, any Giants or Jets fans, want to let Charles and I know if there's a discrepancy between the 2 games, the 2 teams, the AFC, NFC games, we'd really like to know if this is like a thing. Are Giants tickets more expensive than Jets? But I'm assuming Jets are more expensive because you guys still have the Rodgers effect.
Effect.
I mean, we don't know. We're in Wisconsin, so we have no idea.
You look at the stands, and most of those jerseys are number 8s.
Yeah, they love them there. So good for them. Good for the old New Yorkers.
So we're both 3-3 on the pick'ems. So that's pretty well. That's pretty darn good actually. So we're headed into witching hour 3-3. So this week, the head-to-heads, I've only got a couple written down. We've got the AFC picks I've picked out are Denver versus the Bills, and then Texans versus the Bengals.
Ooh.
And I'm going to give you Texans versus the Bengals. I'm going to take Denver versus the Bills. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to hear it here maybe first, depending on where you are in the state, or I'm sorry, country. But I'm picking Denver to win. I'm picking Denver to beat the Bills.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I agree with your pick there, even though I don't get to pick that game. Yeah, that's a tough one you gave me. I mean, the Bengals Texans. I mean, CJ Stroud leading the NFL with the quarterback rating over 100.
470, no
crazy.
interceptions. What, 4 or 5 touchdowns?
He is going to be something special.
Oh my God, I'm so
if
glad.
That team and shout out to Tank Dell, who I had on my bench with 30 fantasy points. Congratulations, Patrick.
Hey, shout out to Tank Dell, who I've got 3 parallel college and NFL rookie cards. Shout out Tank Dell. Keep doing your thing, Tanky.
But I mean, I think Burrow and them are going to roll for one more week until that big matchup next week comes up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bengals are going to have enough. I do believe this game is going to be a hell of a lot closer than people think it is. And I believe that Stroud throws for another 3 touchdowns, but I think that Jamar Chase and Mixon and them score just enough. I think they're going to win like 34-31.
So you're going to pick the Bengals.
Yes, at home.
All right.
That's pretty much the only reason I picked them, is that they're at home.
So they're at home. See, now here's the kicker. The very next week, the Bengals on a short week have the Ravens at the Ravens.
That's why I said I'm rolling with them one more week until next week, until the big game.
I can see the Bengals looking ahead to their Thursday matchup with the Ravens and not giving Texans the respect they deserve, and Texans beating the Bengals, and then the Bengals getting beat by Baltimore. And as high as we are on the Bengals right now, in 2 weeks, we could be going, the Ravens are exactly where we thought they were.
I see that happening a lot more in college than in NFL. I mean, I believe these guys are men. They're adults, and they can separate the two emotions, of the big games. So.
All right. Well, then we've got the NFC. So now I believe you shot me Bears versus Panthers.
Yeah, I want to see what kind of cripple fight.
And this is tough because I'm not sure if Justin Fields is going to be playing yet or not.
Yeah, that is. They say he's supposed to be back, but they don't have him. It just says questionable.
Questionable.
So. I mean, you know what you're getting with Bryce Young and the Panthers. You're getting a mediocre to very below average offense.
I don't know. Bryce Young pulls up one game versus the Texans, right? And here I am, super high on the Texans. And I think the Texans smash the Bears all day. Ooh, man.
Do you want to know what's really disturbing?
What? Because of Paul, I'm going to pick the Bears. And I should pick the Panthers to win.
I guess you're just hoping Fields is going to play.
Fumbled again, recovered again by the Chargers.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Bears in this one. And then for you, who's your final?
What's that?
Who you taking? Who's your NFC team?
Oh, my NFC game. Yeah. I struggled with it, but I'm taking the Saints Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 5-4 teams. I don't have a lot of faith in the Saints right now, unless I guess they somehow magically
Vikings
do it.
Just magically keep winning, and we're not in the playoffs yet. So
I think I think this is the Vikings turnaround game with having him a little bit more time, with Dobbs have a little more time to figure it out. I think he's going to do a lot better this week.
So you're going to take the Vikings.
And take the Vikings. And I believe, isn't this the week that Jefferson comes back or no?
Quite possibly.
I can't remember, or he might be out one more week.
No, the window for practice has been opened. There's a very good chance that Jefferson does play. And if that's the case, well, then I think the Vikings is a really good pick, because Dobbs is going to do two things. He's going to look up for Jefferson, and if Jefferson isn't a go route and he could chuck it, he's just going to
shout out to the Colorado Buffaloes women's basketball team, kicking LSU, number one LSU's ass right now, 45-37 in the third quarter. That is actually very impressive.
Very impressive.
LSU is absolutely fucking loaded.
Oh yeah,
women's
basketball.
It
should come down to LSU, Iowa again, and
that's
South
crazy.
Carolina's creeping north. It's funny that we're not talking too much about North Carolina, but they are there still. You cannot knock out Geno. Oh wow, yeah. I mean, it's just typical Jets. It's so funny. All right, okay, so we're 23-19 to start this to start off. Then it's looking like, and we've got the Chargers picked, so it's looking like we're going to go 24-19, which is real nice. So let's break down. Let's go Colts Patriots. Man, the Colts have been doing well. The Patriots have not. The Colts have been able to score points. Their defense is doing okay. But the Patriots' offense is just beat up. I do not trust Mac Jones. I'm going to take the Colts in this one. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I got to go with the Colts. I mean, even though it's still Gardner Minshew. I mean, good Lord.
But Joshua Dobbs, Jonathan Taylor, good offensive line, and a really good defense.
That's the thing. The Colts, Pittman Jr., they can move the ball.
Yeah.
They can move the ball. The Colts can move the ball.
As long as the Chew doesn't throw it to too many other players.
Yeah, you have to throw about 3 picks in order for them to lose that game, I believe. So
then we've got the Browns, Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens in this one. I'm not sure what the over-under is going to be. It's probably going to be in the 40s.
No,
I would take the under.
It's 38.5.
Yeah. I would take the.
You're taking Baltimore?
I'm taking Baltimore in this one. Yeah.
I'm taking Cleveland to actually beat up that offensive line for once.
You're going to take the Browns. Nice.
Yeah, I think Myles Garrett is going to freaking get some pressure on Lamar. He's going to make some mistakes.
I think Deshaun Watson's going to be sacked 5 times, and on the 5th time he's going to sit down, and old boy's going to get back out there.
I don't know. Cleveland's got one of the best offensive lines in football.
Yeah, but the Baltimore Ravens defense is just mean, and they sack you and they take the ball away. They are really, really good. I like them. I mean, the Browns defense too, really, really good. Absolutely. It's a good matchup. I like that. I like that we're at odds. All right, so then we'll move on to the 49ers Jaguars. Oh, man. I do not see the 49ers losing 4 in a row. But man, Jacksonville is a good team. And every time we pick against Jacksonville, they tend to prove us wrong. But I'm going with the 49ers.
The fuck was that? Did you hear that?
No.
There's a fucking weird video playing in the background. I was like, where the hell is it coming from? It was a fucking commercial. Yeah, I'm going to go the other way with this one. I think the Jaguars are playing way better football than the Niners are right now. And especially coming off a bye week, it's going to be very hard to get back into it.
I agree with you that the Jaguars are playing better football the last couple of weeks. But yeah.
But the Niners have lost 3 in a row. Like, they have not looked anything
I agree.
resembling a football team.
I agree.
And you don't just magically get better.
I think we're going to get the first few weeks 49ers on this one. They're coming off of a bye week, rested, well coached. I think they're going to jump back on that one. Titans, Buccaneers, toughie. Bucks keep losing.
Weren't both of these teams on a bye week?
Who?
They both only played 8 games so far.
Jags and 49ers. Yeah, they're both coming off of a bye week.
So they're both rested. So yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah.
Now you can't even say one team's got the advantage now.
Nope, I don't. And it's in Jacksonville.
Isn't that like one of the first times that usually does not happen that way?
No.
The two teams coming off a bye week play each other. That's strange.
So then we've got the Titans and Buccaneers. Man, the Will Levis experiment. I think I'm gonna take the Titans in this one.
I agree with you. I really like what they got going on in Tennessee.
We've got a higher ceiling with Levis than they do with Tannehill.
Right. Oh my God, they're throwing Tannehill under the bus, man. They just don't have a whole lot of faith in him. What do you got next on here? You got the Falcons game? Which game do you got rolling?
No, I've got the Packers, Steelers.
Oh yes. We got to go AFC, NFC.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay in this one. But I'm not going to be shocked if this is one of those the Steelers score 30 points games.
I don't believe that Love can throw over that defense. And I believe that TJ Watt and those guys are going to have a field day against that offensive line. I don't think the Packers are going to be able to run the ball against the Steelers. So I think it's going to come down to a field goal game, and I think the Steelers are going to win.
I like that. And then we've got Lions, Chargers. Whew. Yeah, I don't trust the Chargers defense, even though the Lions are teetering on that edge of losing the division to the Vikings if they don't pull their head out of the ass. I still like the Lions right now more than.
Yeah, this is a Chargers team right now where obviously they're playing the Jets. It looks like they just went up 13-0.
Yeah, they did. They just scored another touchdown.
Yes,
after another fumble.
Good Lord.
Yeah. The Jets' last few possessions
it's giving the Jets the Packers some hope. So better draft pick.
Oh man. All right, so we're both on the Lions on this one. So then we've got Falcons, Cardinals, the return of Kyler Murray versus can't figure out who they want to be from week to week Atlanta Falcons. I still don't trust the Cardinals, even with Kyler Murray.
The Cardinals are not a good football team, even with Kyler Murray. That's a bad defense. It's a defense.
They're not drafting correctly. They're not drafting correctly at all.
Yeah, the Falcons get to 500 again for the third time this year. And
with the Bucks swirling, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to walk away with that one.
Yeah.
Who are in the AFC, a completely different division.
Yeah.
The Falcons
are in Bucks. There with the New Orleans Saints and the
Saints,
Carolina Panthers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. I'm good. The Saints are going to be coming out of that division, which is just upsetting. Tampa Bay is a much better team than the Saints. That's crazy. So anyways, we're both on the Falcons because Arizona's trash. So the Giants Cowboys can't figure out who the hell they are anymore. Cowboys after a
this is going to be a lot closer game than what people think it is without Daniel Jones in the game, but the Cowboys are going to walk away with this one. They're going to get back to I think a 2-game lead in the division, or no, a game behind the Eagles in the division. 2 games behind the Eagles because they lost the head-to-head. My bad.
Depending on who shows up week by week, the Commanders are decent, but I'm going to take the Seahawks and the Seahawks versus Commanders there. The Seahawks.
This is a game that if Washington if they want to make the playoffs somehow, some way, they have to win. And I'm thinking that they have figured out what Sam Howell can do good and what he can't do good. And I'm thinking that it's quite possible that the Seahawks got beaten up by Lamar. And I think that the Commanders are going to have just enough offense to beat the Seahawks.
Nice. So you're going to take the Commanders.
This is my walking on a tightrope game.
Yeah. So then you've got the Jets Raiders, which shout out to the Raiders figuring out how to play like a football team. Well done.
My goodness. If we get what we're getting right now out of the Jets, the season is over.
Yeah.
I mean,
Aaron Rodgers wasn't coming back anyways, and he ain't coming back.
Yeah, he ain't coming back if they're freaking 4-3 or 4-4.
We're gonna take the Raiders on that.
Yeah, I'm jumping. I think this is the get right game for the Raiders. They got rid of that. They have a lot of momentum. They're 3-1 at home, which is pretty
well,
damn decent.
They got rid of the bad juju.
Yes, the juju's gone.
So, all right, I like it. I like it where we are. We've got a couple little head-to-heads in there that we'll figure out as that week goes on. But I like where we're at. 23-19 as a group. That's tough.
We're risking it for the biscuit.
Well, it's been way better than Stanford Steve, who's 2-57 or some shit like that. I don't know.
Stanford Steve.
I tell you what, man.
That's the guy.
There is a long list of things I've started to watch again, thanks to these crazy ass news networks and their inability to push non-opinionated sports broadcasting. And for example, soap operas. I've gotten back into soap operas now that Pat McAfee is on for way too long. So that's exciting. But let's
tease yourself.
Let's roll right into it, broski. Let's get right into this our show's new favorite segment.
All right, yeah. Charles always has his. Yeah, what rotates my gears in the opposite direction is people who don't return their shopping carts. If you're that person that doesn't return your shopping cart after going out and getting your tasty little morsels, your character is questions. I don't know about you. A lot of people say that this is how you can judge if a person is trustworthy or not. Whether that be your mental capacity that you know where the fucking cart goes back and you just walk your little happy ass back inside and bring the cart back like a normal human being. There's a theory that people say that there's cart narcs. These little weaselly people that narc you out, take pictures of you, Snapchat, send them off to people on the internet, and you get put on this little website called cartnarcs.com. Look it up. It's real. Self-appointed enforcers who confront the shoppers trying to leave without their carts being brought back to the cart corral. Yes, I hate those people, and I don't know about you, but I think it's fucking petty, and I think it's stupid, and I've seen so many of these clowns walking around outside at grocery stores. Walmart's the biggest one. There's always like 100 carts in the parking garage, like those little areas where you park, especially like the people that do the what's that, mobile ordering or whatever, and you can go to those like things. Yeah, we park next to them every now and then, and it's like there's just carts everywhere. Aren't they supposed to bring them fucking things back in?
So I agree with you. I agree with you so much. Yes, I have a little bit to add to this also. When I was just a young little hairy beast, I was told that that's very same thing, that the judge of character is brought upon you heavily when you do not return a shopping cart. For one, why are you parking so far away from a shopping cart bay?
Yeah.
Or so far away from the front door, right? These parking lots are massive. And even if you're, I don't know, 3-4 car spots away from one of those cart bays, right? Like it is not that difficult. Yeah, I just don't understand. There's
it gets even worse in the wintertime too.
Way worse in the winter.
They push themselves a fucking snow trail out there and then just never follow it back to the fucking place where it goes.
And y'all are fucked because like shopping cart damage to your vehicle does not fall under any insurance, no matter what world you live in. If you could be paying $1,100 a month for insurance, and somebody comes up with that shopping cart, or you hit that shopping cart in the wrong spot, don't matter, you're paying for that shit. It is not on the insurance company or that building, right? Like it is just us as human beings. Stop being so fucking lazy. Yeah, I agree, man. Well done. Really, really good one. Really, really good one. But for the rest of us who do push our carts back, and especially all you Hobby Lobby shoppers, well done, Hobby Lobby shoppers. Hobby Lobby don't got cart bays, but you don't see any fucking carts in Hobby Lobby shit. And these are old people. Most of the time, Hobby Lobby shoppers are old.
They're carrying their shit out like this.
Yeah. If Hobby Lobby shoppers can do it, you can do it. But obviously, there's quite a bit of us who do it. And keep smiling. Keep shedding that bright light of sunshine. Be that ray of change. be the better person.